everyone, my name is Alekhya, working as an assistant professor in cyber security department in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. So today our topic is on online scams. Actually, we have discussed so many examples over online scams in before class itself. So today we some more examples on these online scams. So we are having n number of online scams. So in this, some of the scams like lottery scams, charity scams, fraud recovery scams, so bona vacantia scam and malware scams. So today we're going to discuss about these scams through online. First one, online scam. So first lottery scam. So normally what is online scam? So in the last class we have discussed, right? So what is online scam? So it is done through the online. So it is done through the online where the scammer, the fraudster, they will try to gather the information of us, and through the online they'll try to scam either through the mails or through the network. So they'll try to scam us. So this is one of the lottery scam where this is probably this is most often heard term. So lottery scam, we all know what is a lottery is. So lottery is like collecting so much amount of tickets, like selling so much of tickets, and through that one ticket will be selected, like that the lottery will be won. So here lottery is a type of advance fee fraud. So advance free fraud also we have discussed last class. So it begins with the email notification. So it begins with the email notification that is most unexpected. So for example, you may get a mail declared that you have won. So in the subject, what they will give? You have won a large sum of money in a lottery. And next, the recipient of the message would usually be told to keep the notice secret. So what they will tell? They'll keep the notice secret, and due to a mix-up in some of the names and numbers, and to contact some client agents. So this is all some scams that will be done through online. And after contacting the agent, you also, as the target of the scam, will be asked to pay pre-processing fee. So what they will do, they will not directly give the amount what you have won like that. And what they will do, they will ask for pre-processing fee and transfer charges for the winning to be distributed. So what the amount money that has been won, so those has to be given to you, but you have to do some payments like this, like processing fee, transfer charges, like that. So this is one of the lottery scam, and normally you will never receive any lottery payment after that. So after the payment of these charges has happened, you will not receive any lottery payment. And quite a few email lottery scams use the names of legitimate lottery companies. Like original lottery companies' names they will use, but just modifying some names or some numbers within the name. And however, that does not mean those legitimate companies are in a way involving with these scams. So it is not that these original companies, they are mixing with these scams. So it is not. They will use the names and they will use the reputation of those companies, and they will make these frauds. And fake notices of lottery wins are involved in most lottery scams. So fake notices will be involved within this most lottery scams. And the winner is usually lured to send sensitive information to a free email. The winner is usually lured to send some sensitive information to a free email account. What they will do? They will ask to send some sensitive information through the email account. So that is enough for the fraudster to make frauds through the online. And here the scammer then informs the victim a small fee and is required to release the funds. So what they will ask for? They will ask a small fee which is required to release the funds, like insurance, registrations or shipping. So these are also involved within these online scams. And once the victim sends the fee, the scammer invests another fee. So like that he will try to take the sensitive information. Either he will take the sensitive information from the victim through emails, or they'll try to get some small amounts. So for transfer charges or for some taxes like that, they will try to get the amount. And similar to the various types of overpayment fraud mentioned above, so a new variation of the lottery scam involved those fakes or stolen checks, so being sent to the winner of the lottery. So what they will do, they will like lottery scams involve fake or stolen checks being sent to the winner of the lottery. So what they will do, these checks represent a part payment of the winning. Just it will represent some part payment of the winning, and the winner is most likely to assume the win is legitimate. So what he will think? So the person here winner is nothing but the victim, where the like the fraudster, they'll try to make connect with the victims. So to assume the win in is legitimate, original, and thus more likely to send the fee. So what they will do? So which he does not realize is an advance fee. So he will not know that it is one of the advance fee, but they think that it might be small amounts. So it might be small amounts if we have paid those small amounts or these advance fees, so our amount will get back to us. So like that, in the way the victim will think, and the check and the funds involved are pointed out by the bank. So what they will do, pointed out by the bank when the fraud is discovered. And here, and debited from the victim's account. So it will be debited from the victim's account. And here, see here, in 2004, another form of the lottery scam appeared in the US. So like this, one of the scam appeared in the US, where the fraud artists using this scam call victims on telephone. For what they have done, called victims on the telephone. A scammer tells victim that a government has given a grant and they must pay in advance. An advance fee, usually like $250 to receive the grant. So like that, they have given one call to a victim. So this is one of the lottery scam. So lottery scam is nothing but they'll just give some email content like you have won, or you are the winner, like that, through the legitimate sources, but is not from the complete legitimate source. So how they can define it is not from a legitimate source? So for example, if there is some company, some lottery company like Lucky, for example, it is one of the company. So what they will do, they'll just simply remove some names like I like that, or LJCKY, like that. They'll just simply change the names. So it is very difficult for the normal user or the victim to know the differences among what is legitimate sources and where is the fake sources that are coming from. And next online scam is charity scams. So what is charity normally? So what is charity is normally if you want to donate something to the people who have not having complete living style. So where we can give some amount, or we can give what we have, like this. So this is some charity. And what are the scams through that also? So through the online, what are these charity scams? So let us discuss. So this is one of the trick to involve sympathetic feeling in people's mind and used to achieve the ulterior motive. So it is like by using the sympathy feeling from the people, they'll catch those feelings and they'll try to make these online scams. So the scammer present himself or herself as a charity entity. What they will do? They'll represent them as a charity entity looking for donations to help the impacted victims. So for example, like those who are affected by natural disasters, terrorist attacks, World Trade Center attacks, regional conflicts, epidemic, like this. There's so many people who have affected. So by using those victims, so they'll try to present themselves, they pretend to be one of the charity entity, and they're looking for some donations, like that. They'll try to make the users believe. some victims relieve. And scammers. So who are scammers? Scammers are very well known how to exploit people's pension, like a pension for like philanthropic work. So what they will do. So for example, see here, they used 2004 tsunami and Hurricane Katrina as a popular targets for perpetrating charity scams. So these are some scams that were happened in 2004. So what are those? Tsunami and Hurricane Katrina. So as the popular targets. So they have taken those targets as those situations as targets, and they have done one charity scam. So there are other there are more timeless scam charities exploited as well. So in the name of the rising money for cancers, AIDS, Ebola, viruses research, and children's orphanages. So old age homes, like the so many scams that were happened through these charity scams. So or impersonate charities such as Red Cross or United Way. So these are the scams that were through the sympathetic feeling from the people's mind. They have captured those sympathetic feeling from people's mind, and they have used this charity scam to achieve their goal. And the scammers, what they have used. So the scammers ask for donations. What they will do, they'll ask for donations and for linking, often linking to online news articles or strengthening the story of a funds drive. So what they will do, they'll connect the online content to their original situation. So like that, they'll try to ask for donations. And these scammers victims are philanthropists, so who believe in helping a worthy cause, and therefore they expect nothing in return. So they are nothing but they believe in helping in worth cause. So if the situation or if the cause is very strong, so if the cause is very strong, they'll make the donations in a huge manner. And what they will do, they will expect nothing in return. So in return, they will expect nothing. So those type of people, they will select those type of people, and they'll collect the online news through the articles and through the news like that. And they'll try to make some of the blogs or some online content, and they'll try to contact those people who make donations like this. And once sent, the money is gone and the scammers often disappear. So once the money has sent, the scammers will disappear. And some scammers, they'll try to manage to keep the scam going by asking for a series of payments. So like so many types of charity scams will be there. For some, if they have got the complete amount, if they have satisfied with that amount, they'll simply disappear, and they will not work on that. And some scammers, what they will do, they'll manage to keep the scam going by asking for the series of payments. So this has happened, that has happened, so please we need like this. They'll try to ask for so much amount of series of payments. So at times the victims may land in legal trouble after excluding their supported donations from their income tax submission forms. So at that time they will get in risk. So income tax submission forms, they will get to know that they are the fraudsters. And tax rules vary from country to country. So for example, as per directives of the US tax law, charitable donations are tax exempt, and only if donations are made eligible non-profit organizations. So if they have done to made to eligible non-profit organizations itself. And next, the scammers may inform the victims that their contribution is deductible, and that the donor should provide all necessary proof of donation. So like that, they'll collect the information. And however, the information provided by the scammer is fictional. What they will do, they will collect some data which is original, looks like original, and they'll try to present to the donors. They'll try to present to the donors. And when audited, the victims face stiff penalties. So when audit time came at that time, they will come to know these all are scammers, and we have lost so much amount of money through this, and we have not eligible for the tax payments. And these scams have some of the highest rates, especially following a major disaster. So if there is any major disaster that was happen at that time, it will be a highest success rates. And but the average loss per victim is less than other fraud schemes. So when compared to other fraud schemes, the average loss will be less, and this is because the victim is far less likely to donate more than what he or she can afford. So he or she can afford, so that amount of money that the donors will donate. So it is one of the benefit, because the loss will not be very extreme when compared to the other scams. And inside variant of charity scam, the scammer pretend to have a terminally ill mother, or pretend to be a poor university student, or simply begs the victim for money. So these are all some sympathetic feelings that make the other person feel. So to pay for college tuition, or to sponsor the children, like that. So the scammer assures that the money will be repaid along with the interest by some third party at a later date. And often these third parties are some fictitious agency of Nigerian government, or the scammer themselves, as once the payment from someone else is made available to them. And next one, once the victim starts donating funds for the cause put front by the scammer tells the victim that what he will tell the victim, that additional amount is needed for unforeseen expenses. So some expenses or unexpected expenses has come, that we need some amount of money, please, we need some money, like that they'll try to urge for that money. And similar to most other variants, giving excuses similar to those mentioned earlier. And like these many scammers, they will try to even go to the extent of emotionally blackmailing the victim. So what they'll go, simply they'll start with some amount, they'll start like that, they'll try to gather in series of payment, they'll try to gather so much amount of money, and for last they'll try at extent where emotionally blackmailing the victim, to that they'll go. And for example, a scammer would say that as the sponsor of the children, the victim is legally liable for such costs. So like that they'll try to make the person suffer for those situations. And in some cases, a scammer may pretend to be a student and would claim a donative fine, destroyed everything he owed, and therefore he needs the money to re-establish himself or herself. Like that he will try to blackmail the victim. So these are some charity scams. So what they will do, they will just based on the sympathy from the people's men, they will use this as a trick, and they'll try to gather so much amount of money. So another one, fraud recovery scams. So this variant targets former victims of scams. So former victims of scams, they'll try to target them. And the scammer gets in touch with the victim, telling him or her that their organization can trial and catch the scammer and recover the cash lost by the victim, and provided victim is willing to pay for his service. And here, alternatively, the scammer may tell the victim that a fraud has been set up by the Nigerian government towards reimbursement for the victim, like 491 frauds. So, and next one, scammer may further tell that the victim that all that is required is proof of loss. So what the scammer will do? Scammer uses this as a bait to collect personal information of the victim, and the processing and handling fee to send to the victim the amount of the claim. So like this, they'll try to take some money through the victims. So in this situation, so the scammer is trying to exploit victims almost need to recover their lost money. So as well as the fact that the victim fell prey to such tricks are therefore prone to get trapped in such scams. So it is one of the situation, and often these scams are conducted by the same scanner. So same scanner, same fraudster is conducting these scams. So who cheated on the victim in the first place as an attempt to ensure that getting every penny possible from the victim. So every penny is having from the victim, will try to gather that amount of money. And alternatively, the original scammer sells information about the people he has scammed. So what they will do, he will collect the, not only money, he will collect the information, and he will sell that information about the people he has scammed. He will sell in the black market. And to be on the safe side, the scammer would terminate contact. He will delete his contact with another scammer, so who is also involved in the recovery scam. So like that, he will make situations like he will not contact with any other person. He will terminate his contact numbers, and he will like with another scammer also, he will not contact. Like this, these situations happen. And sometimes the scammer impersonates the leading fraud-related crime fighters. So in Nigeria, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), so which not only adds credibility to the scam, so but like tarnishes the reputation, like it releases the reputation of the EFCC once this second scam is discovered. So this is the fraud recovery scam. And next, bona vacantia scam. So bona vacantia. So what is this word? So the English term bona vacantia. So it refers to property. It is one of the property that does not have any owner and is taken by like sovereigns. So it is one of the property that does not have anymore have an owner, and which is taken over by some sovereigns. And depending on the country, there are different names on this procedure. So for every country, we are having so many laws and so many rules and regulations. So based on the department or based on the situation, they will follow. So like that, depending on the country, they are also having different names for this procedure. And for example, in the US, there is no official name for this. So in US, there is no official name for this. It just consists of land that is free, that is not claimed by anyone, and not and as a result, the property goes to the government. And however, if everyone is not aware of it, you can recover it. And in the UK, what it will? So UK bona vacantia, they will name it like this. And it is a property without a owner. So it is not having any owner, or without a owner, we can say there is a property which has been passed to the crown. And in the administration of the property, within the administration of the property rests with the bona vacantia division of the Treasury Solicitors Department. So it is one of the departments that belongs to the this bona vacantia. And some cases of this type of scam shows that fake emails and letters claiming to be from this department have been reported to inform the benefits that they are going to benefit from the inheritance, and that they need to pay a fee before getting more information or releasing the money. So this is the situation, and what they will do. So bank accounts, company assets, property, or anything else. So something which is related to money, that is worth the money counts and unclaimed property in these situations. So unclaimed property, we can say it is the unclaimed property. And these are the cases in which people die, but they did not designate their property to items to property or items to people. So what it is? So it is something, the situation like the people might die, the bonus of the properties, they may die, but they did not designate. They will not register the particular property or the item to another person. So like that. So whichever department is in charge for supervising the money or property, the administrators. So them until a higher or other beneficiary, they can collect them as pretended in some kind of will. So in some kind of will, they'll try to collect it. So this is one of the situation. And these free properties, so we can call it as a free property or unclaimed properties, or the properties which is not having owners like this. And these free properties or money are not kept undisclosed but advertised in the local paper or through a website, and they may request some vital person information such as a full name or perhaps relations names, and that information is validated against the list to see if there is a property for the inquirer. So like that, they'll start their scam. So at times names of relatives will be required. So sometimes names of relatives will be required, and from this scenario, scammers have used the possibility of this situation to their advance for the long time. And here there are people who would be receptive to the idea of receiving property or funds from the receiving property or funds from a relative they did not know about. So the person, his relative, he doesn't know about, but he'll try to like entitle their address or name like this. He's one of the relative, and such people can be preyed upon by scammers. So who just want their money. So like that, they'll try to make some money through this one of the scam, bona vacantia scam. Vacantia scam. In bona vacantia scam, the scammer randomly shortlists some names from the telephonic directory. So what they will do? They will just shortlist some names from the telephone directory and email spyware. So email spyware is nothing but spyware. We have already discussed about what is spyware is. So what is spyware? So spyware is nothing but someone is spying on us. Someone is watching our activities thoroughly without our knowledge. So it is without the knowledge of the victim. The fraudster. The fraudster is without the knowledge of the victim. The fraudster is watching our activities to gain something like this. So through the email means he is just watching our activities through the email, and he is not doing. So spyware, we can say that it is one of the passive attack. It is one of the passive attack. And spyware, from where the person's names is available, and this could even be from social networking websites. So social networking tools, we are having so many social networking tools like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like this. So many social networking websites will have. So through that also they can collect the information. And here the victim is then contacted by through email or letter. So what they will do, through email or letter they will contact and told he or she that is hide to money that has been unclaimed. So what they will do, they will collect the information through the telephonic directory, and from that they'll call to the other person, so which is having related names, and what they will do, he or she hired to money that has been unclaimed. So this is one of the bona vacantia scam, and this communication is made to look very official and genuine. So they look very official and genuine, this scam, and availability of bona vacantia or unclaimed frauds is usually advertised on the internet or by other declared that there are unclaimed frauds and one should apply. So they'll give advice that you can apply to this, unclaimed property, and giving their name and other personal information, so that a check can be made to see if they are on the list. So like that they will try to start the scam. And you might even have to enter names, and you might even have to enter names of family members, and if there are unclaimed goods or funds matching the name of the person inquiring, that they are contacting asking for more details to be submitted. So the entire process takes place via letter or email, and there is no agent involved through these situations. And knowledge about how recovery of unclaimed goods really work helps a person to stay away from such scams. So it is mainly about the knowledge how to recover unclaimed goods. And the next step by the fraudsters is that when the victims respond to the communication, so they will be asked to give their contact details, and usually a phone call will be made saying that goods available which are expenses, but there are expenses or fees that has been paid before they can be released. So like the advance fee, they'll try to make the situation. And in most all cases, the victim will not hear anything about the money they sent. They will not hear anything about the money they sent, but the request for additional payments will continue until the victim stops responding. And next one, having realized that she or he should not pay more to comment. So it is one of the bona vacantia scam. Personal checks. So after that, what they will do, personal checks are even better for scammers, as it allows them to get more out of you. So more information. So with the information on your check, such as your address and your account number, they can empty your accounts. Sending a personal check to a con artist can result in identify theft. And next one, absolutely avoid these correspondences if you can. And if you do want to investigate these claims, consult the appropriate government agency to check upon them. So this is the bona vacantia scam. So it is one of the scams that was happened on untitled or which is the property is not having any author or owner. And next one, malware scams. So what are malwares normally? So normally malwares it is one of the piece of code that was inserted within the through the internet for websites or for networks like this. We are having so many types of malwares. So what are these malware scams? So we have got to use it to internet convenience and the search engines running on them. And have you ever thought why it is possible for you to use internet for free? So have you thought about that? So it is because there are sponsored links on the internet. So we are having sponsored links on the internet, and there are banned ads on the site that you visit. And we have to be aware. However, the third-party cookies store information about you, addresses of the sites that you browse, the IP address of your computer, and in fact your entire site-to-site traffic flow. Site-to-site traffic flow, what is the history or what is the information we are searching for, everything they'll collect through these cookies. And the information stored in the cookies is served to organizations that have presence on the internet for the online marketing and for their products. So this is one of the malware scam, and these practices can harm our personal information that is changing hands. Through the site to site, the information is changing through one site to another site. Our information is flowing from one place to another place. So it might be getting to the wrong hands. And using malware to infect computers is now a very popular scam. So through the malware, infecting to the computers is one of the popular scam. And at times, the objective is to just turn the infected machine into part of a very big botnet where computers are remotely manipulated to send spam or attack networks. So botnet scams are also very dangerous. At other times, the objective is to steal the identity theft. And we are having some we are having some ways to avoid becoming victim to these malware attacks. So we are having 5 ways. So first one, remember never to open an email attachment from an unknown person. Never to open an email attachment from an unknown person. And everybody is a suspect when it comes to online security and online privacy matters. And even those from friends should be suspect unless it is something you expected. So we shouldn't open any email attachment from an unknown person or from a known person also. And treat every attachment is suspicious. So some attachments will come through the emails. So we should think every attachment is some suspicious or some malware attack. And never open anything with these suffix like .exe, .scr or .rar files. Remember always that Trojan horse scams can be concealed in many ways, including the pictures, like pictures which usually have like .jpg, .gef suffix. And most of them may not cause harm, but they'll try to attack, they will try to give some passive attacks for us. And make sure that next way is to make sure that you have a good firewall and antivirus software. So both are crucial and like vital assets in your computer, and they are definitely less expensive than having a bug removed. So we should have to maintain these good firewalls and good antivirus softwares, and they have to be updated and upgraded every time. So for every month or for 15 days, we have to update our softwares. And it is a good idea to use a mail filter. You should use a mail filter or a spam guard. So what it will do? It offers you a chance to inspect your mail before you downloaded it onto your computer and delete any item you do not want to on your hard drive, and as well as blacklist certain email addresses. And it is gratis. It is gratis and a very helpful tool to get rid of spam and as well as potential viruses. So this is one of the idea. And this is one area where being suspicious works well until you know otherwise. And assume everything is malware first. So if you do banking transactions online, do verify for your account transactions regularly for doubtful activity. And depending on the usage, you should review monthly statements also. You should review monthly statements from your credit cards, debit cards, like that. And you should not validate your credit file twice a year to see if there is anyone has attempted opening accounts in your name. So it is also one of the best way to avoid malware scams. So these are the malware scams this is how a malware attacks might happen, and these are the references from the lecture. So what we have discussed? We have discussed about the lottery scams, charity scams, fraud recovery scams, bona vacantia scam, and malware scams, and how to avoid the ways to malware scams. So in the next class, we'll come with some more examples. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.